So this, so, so, so this one, uh, suspect. Suspect is someone, in the opinion of police, committed a certain crime, may have committed a certain crime. So this one, verdicts or judgment in a judgment in a court case, to decide that someone is guilty of a crime. Convicts, verdicts, a judgment in a court case. verdicts صافي كتقرر، كتقول السيد راه دار هاد اللعيبة هادي، فهمتيني؟ السيد راه دار هاد اللعيبة. So verdicts صافي كتحكم judgment in the court case. Witness, witness, to see something especially a crime happen. Witness, verdicts, something a judgment in a court case. Accused, to say that someone did something wrong, committed a crime. Allegedly, according to what people say. Allegedly, according to what people say. According to what people say. Allegedly, allegedly, according to what people say. ما نجيبش العيبة. Involved in a dispute between two citizens, not a criminal charge. Convicts, convicts, to decide that someone is guilty of a crime. Guilty is responsible for doing something bad. Convicts, to decide that someone is guilty of a crime. Crime, offense, offense, specific act that breaks the law. So, guilty, responsible for doing something bad. Offense, specific act that breaks the law. Specific act that breaks the law. So specific act that breaks the law, which means offense. هاد l'accent كتختار طبعا offense. Offense يعني جملة. Here, a person who is social equal, suspect, someone who, in the opinion of the police, may have committed a certain crime. يعني مشتبه به. Suspect. Verdict. A judgment in a court case. A judgment in a court case. Verdict. A judgment in a court case. A judgment. واحد الحكم صار verdict. Witness, to see something especially a crime happened. To decide that someone is guilty of a crime, which means convicts. صافي كتحكم عليه convicts. صافي كتحكم عليه judgment in a court case. هادي كتحكم عليه صافي راه convicts. To decide if someone is guilty something, especially a crime happen, to see something, especially a crime happen, witness, to see something, especially a crime, to see something, especially a crime happen, share, so especially crime happen, accuse, so to say something, someone does is something committed a crime, accuse, شو اللي كنت عامله witness, to say something, especially crime happen, allegedly, according to what people say, civil, what people say, civil, involving a dispute between two citizens, not a criminal charge, convicts, and when you say convicts and verdicts, convicts to decide someone is guilty, someone something bad, offend, to act a specific act of spiritual being, person who is social inquiry, suspect, someone who, in the option of the police, may have committed certain crime, verdicts, a judgment in a court case, verdicts, a judgment in a court case. ما كتعرفش الساعة واش نتا من الفيرتيكس مي كونفيكس متأكد أنه جينيسايد to see something special like to see something special like to decide someone is guilty, convicts, witness, to say something, so
فيق اصاحبي، فيق، ما تبقاش تحلم. راه الحلم يتفرق على الدومين اللي كنتي خدام في السي او دي ولا اي دومين ما كتبغيش، يتفرق عليه وشوف فاش كتلقى داكشي اللي كتبغي. ما كيبقاوش يجوك المغريات ولا الملهيات. ما كتشوف واحد غادي كيتبحر وانت خدام كتقول فوالا انا فرحان اكثر من داك اللي كيتبحر، انا فرحان اكثر من داك اللي كيصافر. ما تبقاش تقلب على الكماليات، ما تبقاش تقلب على التفاهات، السفر، المظاهر، الخروج، الطوموبيلات، الفلوس، هادشي كامل غادي يجي. لكن شي حاجه انت بعدا تصالح مع نفسك انت ومع ذاتك انت. واش داكشي اللي كدير كتبغيه؟ الا كان الجواب نعم، غتلقى راسك كدوز 16 ساعه، 20 ساعه، 22 ساعه وانت فرحان كدير. اما الا كان الجواب لا، غير كضحك على راسك اخويا، فريمون كضحك على راسك وكتضيع الوقت على راسك. سير خير لقى لك شي حاجه اللي كتبغيها، ما تبقاش تضحك على راسك. راه احسن حاجه في الحياه هي الانسان يكون متصالح مع ذاته ويعيش بصدق ويعيش مبدا ديال يتصالح مع نفسه. ما يبقاش مخاصم مع نفسه، ما يبقاش يقول انا بغيت هذا شفتو دار شي حاجه من هذه خصني نمشي نديرها انايا. ما يبقاش حاضر الكماليات والتفاهات. وهذه المشكله ديال الشباب، انهم باغيين يمشيو يتبحروا، باغيين يوصلوا لذاك الليفل ديال فهمتي. يبان هو غير في الظاهر، غير في الظاهر يبان انه راه بخير وعايش مزيان، ولكن هو ما عنده حتى حاجه، ما عنده لا بروجي، ما عنده لا فلوس، ما عنده حتى حاجه. ما تبقاش تضحك على راسك. عيش بصدق، عيش بصدق مع راسك انت الاول. على العموم الخوت، اخر حاجه غنقولها في هاد الستوريات هو ما تبقاوش تتبعوا النفس. الكماليات وهادشي هذا كامل داخل في الاطار ديال النفس والهوى. تقول لك واحد الشاعر
What's up, gang? My name is Tiffany. If you're new here, I am a pre-med student. I'm currently taking a gap year and studying for the MCAT. Question is did anybody else like constantly get this ad once they started studying for the MCAT? Because this ad haunts my dreams. And today I'll be going over how to use your Nintendo Joy-Con or any other Bluetooth remote in making your Anki studying even faster. Alright, so there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to download Anki for your MacBook or your PC. So I'm just going to go over how to start adding your Nintendo Joy. And you download it, you should click this guy here, go ahead and get it downloaded, and then once it's done, go ahead and pop it open. So the awesome thing about the Nintendo Joy-Cons is that it's Bluetooth. So if you go ahead and press, if it'll focus on it, like a you go ahead. All you're gonna do is make sure your Bluetooth is turned on, and it should pop up as the Joy-Con left or right, whichever one you have. So make sure you have it connected here, and once it's connected, you might have some problems troubleshooting, but once you press a button, it should pop up. Usually. So as you can see, I have, and once you go through these, it goes pretty fast. Right now it's going through the cards that I may have missed recently. So as you can see, I have 189 cards too. That doesn't sound a lot. Some nights I have 200 to 300 depending on how many of these I have.
tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
Oh yeah, beats made this.
This is the first blank.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase
Blank we made, and here's the second blank we made. What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to go over how to use Anki effectively and efficiently. So once you've got Anki downloaded, open it up, you're going to see something like this. You won't have all these decks on the side. These are each decks that I created. Now, real quick, I recommend you don't create too many decks. Generally, create just one deck per test, whether that's a subject or a midterm or a final exam. Decide for yourself. I would generally just do one for all of cardiology. So I would have a test halfway through for like a midterm. I'd keep using that deck, and I would continue adding to it afterwards. If you have too many decks, that dilutes the purpose, and you probably are not going to get all your cards. So limit the number of decks you have. To create a deck, go down here, hit Create Deck, and add a card. So when you open it up, it's going to have a front and to you at an interval, close deletions. These are whatever. We can just copy the text, paste cards you want to fill in the blank for. The shortcut on Macs is Shift Command C. And when you do that, it'll insert this code, which tells Anki this is a fill in the blank question. And you can do it for as many times as you'd like. So let's see how that looks. Another thing you can do, full card. So this will have 5. As you can see, all 3 of these are blank. And I need to try this extra portion down here will show kind of look like this. Having an image really helps with your recall rate. So I recommend you do it as much as you can, but at the same time, don't spend too much time trying to find the perfect image. Just having an image there is better than no image. It doesn't have to create, and I'll show you how to do it. Quickly annotate images as the answer. To quiz myself, or at least generally force things. Press subscribe if you haven't already.
What if you never had to worry about forgetting information ever again? And what if there was a tool for taking all the facts and figures you learn on a daily basis and memorising them indefinitely? You could learn a whole new writing system in a matter of months, recall the dates of every single major historical event in the history of the world ever, or even how to say 35 languages in 35 languages. This video was originally going to be about how to memorise Japanese specifically, but then it was pointed out it may also be useful too. All language learners, students studying factually dense subjects, people who hate their memory, people who want to learn everything, post-it note salesmen, and of course, people that enjoy overwhelmingly priced dream mirrors. Yeah, do you remember you said you'd go on a date with me the day I found an overwhelmingly priced dream mirror?
Ooh, well guess what I've just found?
Now I know what you're probably thinking, why would I know anything about memory when all I do is sit around all day drinking salt and fruit? And the answer is that in my quest to learn a language as complex as Japanese, I was forced to confront the issue of having the world's crappiest memory once and for all. But after arriving in Japan, I was fortunate to meet people who had mastered Japanese very quickly, in some cases to a native speaker level. And what they all had in common was they'd used the same tool and the same method to get there. And after I started using it as well, I quickly saw why, because in just 4 months, I'd managed to memorize how to write over 2,000 kanji characters, easily memorize thousands of new Japanese words, and most importantly of all, be able to respond in Japanese in a quick and effective manner.
晩ご飯何しようかな。またそれ？
The method is called spaced repetition, and the tool in question is called Anki. Most people still don't know about it, as it's only become popular more recently thanks to smartphones and tablets. And most people that are using it are typically people learning a language, but the system and the tool can be applied and used in so many ways more than just language acquisition. My whole life I felt like my memory was holding me back, up until I discovered spaced repetition and Anki, and now I feel like I can do anything, and that sense of hope that it's given me is something that I would like to pass on to other people, and I hope that you can make your dreams come true, whatever they may be. So grab a bottle of salt and fruit, and let's get learning. No. Oh, fucking hell, everywhere. It's literally gone everywhere. The first thing to understand is the theory behind the tool itself. The spaced repetition system tool is a system which exploits the spacing effect, the most effective way to learn and retain information over a long-term period. The effect was initially discovered over 100 years ago by a German psychologist with a groundbreaking beard called Hermann Ebbinghaus, who learned that just a week after we've learned something, 90% of that information is lost. However, by continuously reviewing or revising that information over increasingly spaced intervals, we can memorise the information easily and naturally and retain it into our long-term memory for months and years. Example. Okay, so on Monday I learned the Japanese word for dangerous is abunai. The next day, just as I'm starting to struggle recalling the word for dangerous, I test myself with the card and succeed. Abunai. Before going back to eating healthy, nutritious food. Dinner time. 3 days later, just as I'm struggling once more to recall the word for dangerous, I test myself. Abunai. Yeah, succeed, and then plan to test myself again in about 5 days' time. And this keeps happening, and as I keep reviewing and revising the word, the time between each review is gradually increasing until eventually I'm looking at the word in a matter of weeks, if not months. So the spaced method allows for a natural learning process, increasing until eventually I'm looking at the word in a matter of weeks, if not months. So the spaced method allows for a natural learning process, rather than cramming all the information into our heads and just forgetting it. We're memorising information for the long term, and so you won't get demotivated and give up. You'll carry on when you see that you're actually learning and memorising information. However, there are problems for using this method when using, say, flashcards. Think about it. For a language with thousands of characters and thousands of words to learn, you need to first mow down the entire fucking Amazon rainforest just to get the paper to make the cards in the first place. 2. Create an elaborate tracking system using something like Excel to work out the day you last reviewed the card and the day to review it next. And 3. You'll have lost all your friends by this point. You'll have to spend most of your free time googling words like friendship, and all of this would definitely happen. Why would you put yourself through all this when computers can do it all for you and better? Anki is the Japanese word for memorise, and at its core was a free-to-download, highly intelligent digital flashcard system that was so popular it was ported to Android and iOS. All the most advanced non-native speakers of Japanese who have mastered Japanese that I know have used Anki and done very well using it. And once you've started using it, you'll see why it's very effective. Thanks to the age of smartphones, tablets and PCs, it's so easy to input and review information, and all you need to do is pull it out of your pocket and get going. It's that easy. All you do is open it up and start inputting your flashcards. And in my own case, I might be at work or out with friends, and I'll hear a word that I want to memorise, pull out the phone, bring up Anki, in goes the word, probably refrain from doing that noise. Won't do you many favours. Doing this, you build decks of cards. For example, I have a deck of cards related to Japanese vocabulary, another for kanji characters, and if you can't be bothered to make your own deck of cards, you can always get a shared deck from the website where people have already pre-made cards, pre-made a deck, uploaded it for anyone to download, and often they're quite good. They have the sound and the pictures embedded within them, which is particularly good, again, for languages. There's even flashcards with native speakers of Japanese on, which is great for learning, and far better than doing it yourself. And within the application as well, there's a scratch pad, so you can actually draw out the cards, which is really useful and bloody brilliant. But the real secret to Anki's effectiveness is all in the input that you have with each card. Example. Once you reveal both sides of the card, you're presented with a series of the card and you hit the red button.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. So I'm going to be filming a video which I have wanted to do for quite a long time, but I thought now would be the perfect timing because it's the start of an academic year. It's September. Everyone's going back to school, university, college, whatever it may be. I myself, I'm going back to do a master's, and so I was like, I kind of need to remind myself how to actually study. And so I thought I would share how I got the grades that I did at Cambridge. So for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Holly, and last year I graduated from Cambridge having studied biological natural sciences for 3 years. In both my second and third years, apparently I topped the year. I never set out to do that, and I don't really know how. I still don't believe it, but I'm just here to share with you some of my advice and take you through how I approach academic years and how I got the grades that I did. But I'm actually going to use timestamps so you can jump to different sections if you want to, or you can watch the whole thing, because for me, doing well in exams is definitely not a crash course. It's very much far from that. It's not all about the exam season and the revision leading up to all of the exams that you have at the end of the year. It's more of a long-term process. So it starts from day one and it finishes with like results day. So for me, it is very much a long-term pipeline. If you've been around on my channel, you'll have probably heard me refer to that before. So yeah, if you do enjoy the video and you find it useful, definitely like it, comment down below, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to join us, because as I said, I'm going on to do a master's, and yeah, it's the start of a new academic year for me. But anyways, okay, so the first thing is all about mindset. This might seem trivial, but before we jump into the nitty-gritty details of studying and revising, I just wanted to address the mindset. As I said before, I never set out or planned to top my year. It's never been something that I've wanted to do. I literally just wanted to pass my exams and get a 2-1 at Cambridge. To me, everything was literally just about hard work, dedication, and commitment to my studies. I also just think when you start trying to compete with others and your peers, it just creates a very unhealthy mindset. And so I just really tried to focus on me and what I was doing and what I was achieving and learning. I mean, my only competition, yes, was myself, and I do put a lot of pressure on myself, but I never said to myself that I want to rank first, sort of thing. And I don't think anyone should do that. As I said, I just think you should adopt a growth mindset. In particular, I always say to myself that I never want to finish an academic year saying that I could have worked harder or put in that bit more effort, you know? I want to finish feeling as if I worked hard and I'll get the grades that I deserve, and I'll be happy and pleased with them and myself. A final note and kind of disclaimer is that I didn't just study. I studied a lot, yes, and I worked really hard, but I did do quite a lot of other stuff. So I danced and I was heavily involved in like the competition team at Cambridge, the dance competition team. It took up so much of my life and I loved it. And I also did YouTube along the side, so that took a lot of my time editing, filming videos and stuff. So yeah, I didn't just study. Okay, so onto the juicy bit of the video, and I'm going to walk you through what I do throughout the year first of all, and then take you through my exam season and how I revise. And all of this is going to be in the context of my final year, my third year, just because it's most recent, and I think that that is when I really worked out how best to study and revise, sort of thing. Everything just came together and I was like, this works for me. Okay, so we're going to start off with making notes, and for me this is so important. I make a combination of handwritten notes and then typed notes. The handwritten notes, if you've been around on my channel, you'll know that they have to be done and made and created on plain paper. I cannot use lined paper. Like, no, don't give me that paper. I will turn it down. It has to be plain paper. I have a whole dedicated video on how I make my plain paper notes, and I will link that on the screen somewhere and down below. I'll also do the same for others that I mentioned in this video. And if you do pick up on anything else that you want more information on, I can make more videos within this series that I started last year called My Exam Secrets. So do leave that in the comments down below and I'll pick up on it. I have heard some people say that note making is a pointless exercise. And I mean, everyone can have their own opinion, but for me personally, I find it so valuable because I organize my notes in a very clear and concise way that makes perfect sense to me. And for both my handwritten and typed notes, I create them in a very precise protocol. It is so exact. It has to be done in this way. So my notes were based on the content that was delivered to us in lectures, but something that was really important for me in final year especially was the addition of extra reading and extra information I'd found through reading papers online. This was a requirement for third year. You had to go above and beyond. I was whenever I needed to go to a set,
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another study with me video. Isn't that exciting? As usual, I'll be taking you through a day off work where I'm studying for a medical exam called the MRCP, and I'll be sharing my study techniques along the way for whatever it's worth. I actually set my alarm for 7 AM that morning because I wanted to seem like a motivational and productive member of society, but I turned it off and went back to bed until 9:30. I then got up and spent an hour having a shower, replying to some emails in the toilet, and then cleaning the house, because obviously the house needs to be clean before I can start doing any work. From 10:45, I decide to start studying, and because I've already made a list of all the subjects for my exam, I decide to tackle my weakest one, and that's neurology. So having decided that, step one is to scope the subject, i.e. find out what all the various topics are within the subject and categorize them into sensible categories using a mind map. That way, I've got the big picture view in my mind, a skeleton, as it were, of the content, so that when I come across new bits, I know exactly where they slot into the big picture. I make this mind map partly from a set of notes I found on the internet, and partly from a presentation that one of our seniors in college gave us. Big shout out to Martha for the amazing teaching session. At this point, it's 11:30 and I've got a solid overview of all of neurology, and so I take a quick break and spend half an hour chatting to my grandma in Pakistan, thereby signaling what a wonderful grandson I am. From noon onwards, I bash through questions on neurology is to use and read the tips video to spot into it. But a big reason why people don't like using flashcards is because it takes absolutely ages to make your own flashcards. Yeah, you could just download a deck from the internet, but those tend to be less effective and a lot less customized than making your own. And in my opinion, the best of both worlds is to make your own flashcards, but to make the process of making them super quick. So, my technique for going through online question banks is to use split screen to answer the questions on one side, and then if I get something wrong or find some new information in the explanations, I'll copy and paste it straight into Anki and turn it into a big flashcard. I'll then review those flashcards fairly regularly so that over time, anything that was new to me on the question bank gets uploaded to my brain. I'll talk about this in more detail in a bit, but first, at around 1 PM, I decided to take a break and practice some Japanese on Rosetta Stone, who are very kindly sponsoring this video.
女の子たちは自転車持っていません。
I've been using Rosetta Stone for almost a year now, and I love how it makes language learning into a game. And rather than teaching you the grammar and stuff in a dry way, it integrates those into the scenarios so you can figure out sentence structures and vocabulary along the way. It's also got really cool voice recognition that checks your pronunciation of words and phrases so you can try and sound a bit more like a native speaker. And since starting using Rosetta Stone, I found myself using my new Japanese skills in day-to-day life. For example, just before playing squash, I might say to my it's completely new. I Google it and try my best to understand it before I shove it into Anki for memorization faster than inputting it into Quizlet. And because this method relies on quick capture, mapped out neural subject in my head, because I can from 6:15 onwards, I review some more questions on past medicine and
Tracks today.
So eruption, to develop, to comfort, to evolve. This makes something more difficult or complication. The belief that natural objects such as trees have soul, animism, relates to the body physical, central or essential parts around which are over a core, or core. Unquestioningly, it means implicitly a belief possible include
Oh yeah, beats made this.
لهم اكتيفي خطوات الامان تاعهم ملي كنحاول نرجع الكود كيوصل الكود التاكيد التليفون كيطلبوا لي نعطيهم جيميل فين واش اخي امين صافا باين وكاين شي مشكل واش امين صافا باين هو كاش ما بصحة وراحة خويا راه اليوم الاثنين مصوت الوالدين كتبداو نتوما هادشي نهار الاثنين ذا جوكر ريزو انفورماتيك في سوق الشغل من هنا لقدام من هنا لقدام اخويا سوق الشغل الريزو انفورماتيك زعما باقي مطلوب زعما ما كاينش شي اشكال في هذه النقطه اخي جوكر خصك غير تكون كومبيتون تكون عندك مع اخر التكنولوجيات اللي كاينه في السوق والله يسخر لك اذا بعد وصلنا لنهايه البث المباشر شكرا جزيلا على المتابعه ونراكم ان شاء الله في بث غد الى ما طلعوش نتائج ايجابيه ديال هذيك السيده التي لا طلعت خصنا نمشيو نديروا الحجر الصحي ونتمنى ما عرفت والله نقدروا نديو الا دينا الكاميرا للدار هو هذاك ما ديناش وفين حبيبي راه سالينا الله واش ننزل دابا واك يلا اخويا يلا نوصلوا للدار يلا سير الله يسخر يلا الله يعاون الزين سلام المهم قلنا غدا ان شاء الله الى طلعوا الايد هذاك الشيء ايجابي راه غادي نغبروا واحد 15 يوم ما طلعش
for me.
I've been to China. That's a great country for living, but their policy is not so good. But the
What
people in
happened?
China,
Yeah, that's a lot of
what
background
happened?
noise.
What with their policy?
Patrick, you
No,
know.
I think
Communism happened with them.
Patrick
Communism.
voice.
So yeah, China is really good for living. I love this country. I love
Actually,
their
I
food. I
don't
love
like
the
this
people.
country.
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, I don't like China.
Uh, yeah, it's up to you actually. I love China because I live there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a
you
lot of
know,
background noise.
actually, like generally, China is good for living, but I don't like their way in policy, in international
Sorry,
affairs.
dude. Patrick,
Yeah.
your what are you doing? Your voice. Thank you.
Sorry. What happened with my voice?
I can't hear. Cody.
You can hear me?
No, Patrick's voice. It's so bad.
Yeah, I had to mute.
So bad connection, you mean?
There's a lot of background noise.
No, yeah, background voice.
Me? Oh, me?
Omar. Yeah, your mic is like it's like muted or something. It's like super small. I can't hear anything.
How about now?
Yeah, I'll just increase your voice from my end because I can't. Like it's really small for some reason.
Okay.
So what about the Arabic language?
About of what?
I thought you said you guys were talking about the Arabic language.
Yes.
Yeah, like what about it?
We said that Arabic language it's harder or not harder. It's hard.
It's hard. Okay.
So, Ahmad, are you Christian?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Like, first time I see Ahmad, like, who has the name and he's Christian.
Because I'm from Bethlehem. In Palestine, we are from Bethlehem. Do you know Bethlehem?
Actually, nope.
Oh, we don't know Bethlehem?
Is it like a city in Palestine?
Yeah. It's a birth city for Jesus.
Oh.
Wait, any of you guys actually like Muslim?
What?
Any of you guys actually Muslim? I just have a question. Like, are you Muslim?
Yo,
No,
we are.
I'm
I am.
Christian.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. So you know how like in the Western culture, basically, except for maybe like Spanish people, like you don't really name your kid Jesus, right? So in a Muslim culture, can you name your kid Muhammad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
really?
if you just Google it, it's
Because
like the most
Muhammad
famous
is a
name in the
prophet, not a
world.
god.
Oh, okay.
Also, we have like the Jesus name, but it's called Isa, not Jesus.
We say
the Arabic version.
Yeah, Jesus is not really like the original language, right? It's like it changed to a lot
Hello.
of different names, and then it became Jesus at some point, I think.
Yeah, of course.
In Arabic, his name is Isa.
Isa, yes.
Isa. We say Isa.
Yeah, some like this person from
Are you Christian? Enter sleep.
Nope. I'm a deist. You probably don't know what that is.
A deist
But
or
yeah,
atheist?
deist.
What does it mean? It's a
It's like
Muslim.
God made us and He left us. Yeah, that's my belief right there.
Like, what do you mean, like he left us?
Like He left us. Like He's not here anymore. He doesn't care about humans anymore. That's my belief.
وسبعه ديال الناس خلصوا 47000 درهم. صاد ما تبقاش تقول لي ولا صاد صاحبي الناس راه ما كتبغيش تخلص وكلشي كيتساوى. صاد على حقاش انت ما عارفش دير الماركتينغ، انت ما عارفش تبيع. ماشي المشكل هو ان الناس علاش صاحبي هذا مشي عنده تيقول لي انا من الفلوس قليله والقرش راه الصاد، لان انت فتحتي ليه الباب الصاد. انت فتحتي ليه الباب اصاحبي، انت فتحتي ليه الباب ان فهمتي. انا غادي نمشي لكلوزي الديل بلا ما يقول لي هاد الهضره هادي اللي تيعاود لك انت تمشي عنده يبكي عليك، انا نمشي عنده يسني ليا. علاش اصاحبي؟ لان ما مشيتي فيزيوال كليان مغربي. عرفتي كان فرحان والله واخا يسمو كليان مغربي صاحبي، كليان مغربي كلوزي الديل ب 7 المليون صاحبي، 7 المليون على قبل ايدونتيتي صاد. ممكن دير اكثر اخوان. ندوزو للاسئله. خويا سيمو، واش مازال كاين ما يدار في امازون اف بي اي؟ اخويا ماشي كاين ما يدار في امازون اف بي اي، كاين شي حاجه اكثر ما يدار. خاصنا شي كلمه باش نديسكرايبي واش نوطاري اكثر. كاين اكثر من ما يدار في امازون اف بي اي. امازون اف بي اي يلاه بدا في شي دول، خاصك تمشي توكل فيهم على الله. ميريكان باقي فيها ما يدار، ميريكان فيها الكومبيتيشن وفيها بزاف ديال المشاكل من ناحيه المنافسه. بحال انا دابا جيت تخدم اركان في ميريكان، نوعدك انه ما يخدمش، لان بحال قلتي التران مشى. ها هو مشكله فين هو هذا الراجل هذا اللي كيسمع ليا دابا، اللي غادي يلقى الحل، اللي غادي يمشي غادي يطرق لنا هذا المسمار هذا. المغرب كامل واقف، المغرب الساط كامل واقف. فريمون كنتوحش الدراري، كنتوحش ديك الحماس فهمتي. دونك تولي فهمتي تعجبوني الدراري. ولاو اللي جونا خايف في المغرب الحمد لله غاديين. الدراري اللي تيخدموا راه كيخدموا، اللي كيافونسي راه كيافونسي، اللي ما تيافونسيش يزيد يخدم يحاول يافونسي. خايف في هاد ليفينمون الاخرين تلاقينا مع شي ناس راه خيرها هارب
War and Conquest. Apex. Apex oder Annex?
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
Booyah Beats made this.
شي ناس صعبه كيدوب شي حاجه راه بقيت انا فهمتي القضيه كنشوف كيبان واحد السيد اللي هو لبناني عايش في كندا كبار في كندا وعنده جنسيه كنديه حسبو كندي ولكن فهمتي شي حاجه بلا ما نقول سميتو واحد الحاجه صعب العائله ديال دوك صعب اللبنانيين المهم حتى هو تمايا وخدام في كندا اشنو داير واحد الشركه ديالاش داير شركه ديما تنقول لكم الغسيل ديال الطوموبيلات فهمتي تيغسلوا الطوموبيلات لعباد الله بدل ما تمشي انت ديبلاصا عند اللافاج وتخلي له الطوموبيلات ديالك ويغسلها عليك
Yeah,
Like Actus and what do you mean?
as in, it's like you have to come here.
Dur göstereyim.
Half-Life'cı mısın be sen de?
Dur bakayım. Half-Life mi var lan?
Görmüyor musun? Half-Life değil mi lan o ne ya?
Half-Life.
Half-Life sandım ilk başta Half-Life mi zaten? Oğlum 2060'ım var ve sen Discord'tasın ha.
O ben çok sarmıyor, bak bizim Discord bu. Burada Valorant oynuyorlar.
İyi çöga. Lan oğlum arası bir şey. Susun lan. Susun lan. Susun Türkçe konuşun. Türkçe öyle. Hello guys. Hello.
What is this? Why are you showing your Discord?
Bak ne dedi bu arası çocuğu?
Sana ne orospu çocuğu? Nereye Discord'unu göster?
Hey guys, I gotta go. See ya.
Bye bye. Rahat konuşalım, gitme.
Anlamadı bence.
Anlamadı ya.
Yeah. Patrick, welcome. It seems you're a